The Branch Davidians are an outgrowth of the Shepherd's Rod, a breakaway sect of the Seventh-day Adventists, founded by Bulgarian-born Victor Hutef in 1929. In 1993, their leader, David Koresh, and more than 70 of his followers died during a confrontation with the United States government. Hutef had been disfellowshipped by the SDA Church because of his heterodox ideas, especially his interpretation of Revelation 14:1. Quote, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads." End quote. Hutef contended that those 144,000 were purified Seventh-day Adventists who were destined to inhabit the restored kingdom of David in Jerusalem. That's a little bit from the chapter Cults in a book called Cults, Conspiracies, and Secret Societies, The Straight Scoop on Freemasons, the Illuminati, Skull and Bones, Black Helicopters, the New World Order, and many, many more by Arthur Goldwag, and that is a vintage book. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I was reading an op-ed piece yesterday, and I noticed that the right, as is its wont, is very quick to catch on to public consciousness and try to take fucking advantage of it. And that is that they were trying to make the distinction between, anomalous, greedy fucking capitalists, in other words, individuals, and capitalism. And their answer in this op-ed piece was that the answer to the problems with capitalism and capitalists who happen to be greedy is that we should have more capitalism. That is more so-called free market, less governmental intervention, which is all a bunch of fucking bullshit. Also, I see that Goldman Sachs is supposedly being grilled heavily on Wall Street. Ooh, terror of terrors. Congress seems to have taken notice. Well, that's bullshit too, but it is setting up something that should not be a distraction for you from the overall problem, and that is scapegoating. They throw a couple people onto the bonfire, whether it's Goldman Sachs or someone else, for fraud or whatever it else happens to be, does nothing to address the overall issues at concern here, my friends. And that is the system itself. Corporate intrusion into government, corporate influence over the government. The Constitution was meant to protect individuals. It should have no place in corporate America. They should have absolutely no rights under the Constitution. In my interpretation, we're talking about inalienable rights for flesh and blood living human beings, not fucking corporate monstrosities. And what we have in this country, just like Massey, the mine company, who told workers that they had to go back to work and were denied leave to attend memorial services for the friends that died in the terrible mine tragedy. This is the mentality of corporate America, my friends. And scapegoating it is not going to take it away. It's not going to address the issue. And I agree with some of the precepts of the Tea Party movement. I think I pay too much taxes. I think perhaps I should have less government interference into my life. And yeah, I think it would be great to have a balanced budget. But you know what? I'm not going to sell out my motherfucking entire community for the benefit of the fucking businesses and corporations who have benefited by getting trillions of fucking dollars to bail them out for their risky fucking behavior. You know what they did after they got that bailout money? They went back to doing the same fucking risky things that brought this on in the first fucking place. And I'm not going to say we need a balanced budget now and we need less government spending because there's no fucking equity in it. That's right. Government gives trillions to the fucking corporations on Wall Street and does practically nothing for jobless and homeless in this fucking country. And you want to talk about let's put a clamp down on government spending now? Fuck that. And fuck a balanced budget right now. It's a legitimate issue, but it can wait. until we've had some redress of our fucking grievances. And I think I pay too much taxes, but you know what's more important to me? Motherfucking companies that pay nothing and take advantage of the very same services that I do, that I've paid for. That's more important to me. Don't be distracted into thinking that there are anomalous, greedy people in this system. The system breeds greed. Capitalism is all about making profits and more profit at the expense of every fucking thing else. And there is no such thing as a free market. If you remove regulation from the market right now, you only guarantee that the people who dominate the fucking market are going to dominate it further. Tax these motherfuckers. And you know what? When you start bringing in those billions of fucking dollars, then what you contribute can be lessened. Does that make sense to you? And then maybe you can have a balanced budget because you're going to be bringing in more revenue. And one final thought. For all of you who have left comments for me, I really appreciate your comments, and I'm not trying to be angry towards you. I'm being angry towards the fucking idea that's expressed over and over and over again. When you tax corporations, they just pass those costs on to you, the consumer. Well, you hear this from right-wing stiffs all the time. In fact, my friend yesterday I was talking to, he said Hannity talks about this all the time. Oh, you tax corporations, you're just going to pass this on to the consumer. And he brought up a very good point, and I want to give it to you right now. And that is, why don't we take this to its logical conclusion? Since corporations who are fucking taxed will just pass their costs on to you, why don't we give them fucking money? That way they can lessen their costs to you. Let's see. We've given the motherfucking companies from Wall Street trillions of fucking dollars. Has Goldman Sachs lowered their fucking trading rates? Have they given you bigger interest rates? What's the answer to that fucking question? They're already getting subsidized by paying no fucking taxes or very fucking little. And there's only so much cost that can be passed on to the consumer before consumers will not buy their fucking service. It's as simple as that. Just think about it. And don't be distracted into thinking this is just some anomalous, greedy capitalist. The system has to be addressed. There are individual problems I want addressed as well, just like people in the Tea Party movement. But they can wait before we tackle the big problems that are inherent right now. Thank you. Good day.